Give me my chocolate fish biscuits!
If you ask me 3 times, I will give them to you.
Ah! I'm in a cocoon of sadness! This week on Lost, Saeed is choreographing a pawn between himself, Kate, and Boone.
Now, when I'm in position, I'll fire off my rocket. When you two see it, you fire yours. As soon as the last one has gone up, we'll all switch on our antennas.
Jack is wrong.
Caves are natural shelter. They're a hell of a lot safer than living here on the beach.
And Michael finally shuts down so many comments in the message boards across the world about the race of Sun and Jin.
The wife 당신들 때문에 위험에 빠지는 걸 볼 수 없어.
We don't understand Chinese.
Korean, man. The Korean.
Welcome to my Lost Rewatch, where I am rewatching every episode of the series Lost and talking about the good, the bad, and the mysteries. This week is Season 1, Episode 7, The Moth, a Charlie episode. Let's get lost! Over in the caves, Jack and Hurley are setting up a doctor's office. Meanwhile, Charlie wants his drugs back from Locke, who'd rather teach Charlie about the ugly duckling. At the beach, Saeed has made a doodad that could triangulate the French lady's distress signal thanks to a shout-out to the dubious plot mechanic of fireworks smugglers. Charlie, being a rock god, causes a cave-in, which traps Jack. But it's okay, because Charlie has also learned that the ugly duckling is about choices, not natural beauty, and he chooses to go in and successfully save Jack. During Saeed's triangulation attempt, he's knocked out. Was it an act of racism because an Iraqi said the world's quietest Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar before setting off an explosive? Or was it something else? And that's The Moth, the first Charlie episode. Hey, can I have my chocolate fish biscuits?
That's one. No.
God damn it. Anyway, being written by Jennifer Johnson and Paul Dini of Batman the Animated Series fame, this episode marks every writer from the show's conception having written an episode. Except for Jeffrey Lieber. We do not talk about that man.
I'm probably delusional.
This is also the first time since the pilot that an episode has been written by two people. Episodes written by pairs of writers becomes standard around the time that Carlton Cuse joins the show mid-season 1, and it's something that Damon Lindelof will take into all of his future shows, from The Leftovers to Watchmen to Mrs. Davis. So I do kind of wonder why Jennifer Johnson and Paul Dini were relegated to having a double episode, whereas Javier Grillo, Mark Swatch, Christian Taylor, and Damon Lindelof, and David Fury all got solo projects. I mean, either way, it's still an impeccable episode that, you know, once again doesn't actually have all that much going on, even though it still feels like thick with intrigue and character. Because, you know, ultimately all that really happens in the episode is Charlie asks for his drugs 3 times, there's a cave-in, Jack gets trapped, Charlie saves him, and Saeed goes on a hike with his new toy and gets hit. But it's all of the episode's little moments that really put the flesh on the episode to make it what I think is above average in season 1. For example, in a short exchange between Michael and a glance at Sun, you can almost see the light bulb go off in Michael's head about his need to build a raft to get off the island.
This place is cool. Can we live here?
And Sawyer gets some pretty decent character work in ahead of his episode next week, with just a few jealous, not jealous interactions concerning Jack and Kate, which include flirting, humor, genuine hurt, and being a bastard. And of course, you know, turning Charlie asking for his drugs 3 times from just being a simple question to being something about a philosophical conversation that we can have. You know, where we can talk about the differences about what it is to be a human or an animal, and about what struggle does to build character, and most importantly, about casting the One Ring into the fire of Mordor.
Do you know what I'm doing here? Honestly, and I don't want to sound like a real goof, but right here, I'm doing Gollum. That's what I'm doing. I was thinking about Gollum, what Andy Serkis would do when he had, you know, the ring kind of taking him over. That's what I was trying to do right there.
And this episode, the episode that scored the biggest live audience in all of the show's run so far, is also the one that really heavily delves into concepts of religion and redemption, which will be huge themes throughout the whole of Lost. Incidentally, they're also the themes which annoyingly keep the conversations about the show being purgatory alive. But what can you do? And why was this episode the biggest so far? I mean, you know, you could argue that it's because the show was a juggernaut that was only growing more and more momentum. Or you could follow the theory that others have, that it's because it was a Charlie episode. You do have to remember that in 2004, Dominic Monaghan is hot off Lord of the Rings. And in the show, he is definitely one of, if not the most recognizable characters, and that's across the world, given Lord of the Rings fame. And I guess I should address the heroin in the room, but I'm not going to ingest it like Charlie. I didn't have time to find the interviews to back me up this week on a few things, but one of the things that I did want to talk about that I know Damon Lindelof has talked about is how in a box they kind of wrote Charlie, and how they never really got him out of that box either. We just keep hitting the same note again and again and again. It's a little bit like Saeed, where we're constantly revisiting the question, like, is Saeed a good person, when the answer has already been given in every one of his episodes. So just like here with Charlie's episode, we're just constantly revisiting Charlie's addiction all the time. But I mean, you know, this is a great inaugural episode, and of all the flashbacks that we've seen so far, I think Charlie's is definitely the most upsetting. You know, whilst Locke's story was kind of depressing from the out, at least he's got a newfound passion for life and faith on the island. And Kate, maybe she feels a little bit trapped, but at least she's not on the run anymore. And Jack, well, he's getting like kind of some new leadership training as the chief of islandry. And then you've got Sun and Jin, who are not having the best time, but they are making a go for it. But Charlie, in flashback and on island, he is just not having a good time.
Dude, you feeling okay? You look a little...
Flu. Just got the flu.
Oh, man, that's rough. After all you've been through, take it easy, man.
So like I said, it's just kind of a shame that after this episode, this great foundation that's been laid about his character and where his character could go in terms of redemption, it is a little bit sad that his character's kind of assassinated up until, you could argue, season 3, when he does get a new kind of lease on life as a character and as the performance of him as well. But overall, great episode, fantastic performance from Dominic and Terry O'Quinn, and I really liked seeing Charlie get to be with Jack again after he was part of the main trio in the pilot episode. It seemed like, you know, Charlie was a big push in the very first few episodes, but then he kind of took a bit of a backseat. And it still kind of annoys me that Kate doesn't really acknowledge him after he comes out of the cave too. But, I'll take what I can. Alright, and with that, I'm going to spin the donkey wheel and go back in time to see what people were saying on the message boards. Oh, wait. before we do that, hey, can I have my chocolate fish biscuits now?
That's 2. No.
Bloody wanker. To the boards! Episode was shit. A complete filler episode. Only thing that I found remotely entertaining was the Moth cocoon story. Oh no, to Jack, if he dies, my chances of seeing Kate naked are going to dwindle. Ah, you guys. Give me strength. Poor Sawyer, I'll give you a hug. You're gonna love the preview for next week. Believe me, it looks as if Kate is leaning in to kiss a sleeping Sawyer. It was like, oh, emoji. It better not be a fake kiss. I'm so excited about next week. I wish it was next Wednesday already. I'm totally baffled as to who knocked out Saeed. If it was one of the castaways, I'd bet on luck.
The first week after the crash, there was a cave-in. Jack was trapped. You remember that?
Of course.
You, Kate, and Sawyer went out into the jungle to triangulate a signal.
Yes.
You were hit from behind, knocked unconscious. When you woke up, the transceiver, your equipment was destroyed. That was me.
It's a good bet. Oh, Sawyer, first of all, no shirt. I nearly slid out of my chair behind that one. I'll console you, sweetie. God, those dimples. I could drown in those babies. These message boards get horny. Okay, lame moment of the episode. Liam's thick glasses to indicate sobriety and maturity. And who is Liam to lecture anyways? Self-righteous prat. I think, we can... It is very heavy, and like Liam is a bastard in that flashback. He's very, very rude to Charlie, especially considering like how Charlie's addiction began. Well, I'm really enjoying being in my little cocoon. We can understand where Charlie came from, but we also need to understand the nature of this storytelling, where each flashback only has a few minutes to convey a lot of information. I forgive the show for that, even though it does make Liam look like an even bigger knob. What the hell happened to Saeed? Who or what hit him? By the way, he looked mighty hot in that white undershirt. Alright, I'm going to another board. Alright, this is the one that usually has all the crazy people in it, so let's see what they're saying. Shit, I thought it was on at 9. Fucking channel guide not arriving in my mail today. Flashback 2004. Getting the TV guide in the mail. Alright. Okay, now for whose side are you on? I think this week I might be on the eponymous Saeed. Whilst I didn't agree with how stubborn he was in last week's episode about moving to the caves, I do think that in this episode he's the only one that's really moving the story at large along. So for that reason, I think I am going to give it to him. I did consider being on Michael's side, because in this episode we do get to see a really fresh and good side of Michael, where he's not just interacting with Walt all the time. We really get to see him demonstrate some leadership abilities, but very quickly Kate extinguishes that, and I don't like how he shouted at Hurley. And it's time for It's Hot Out Here. If I'm not wrong, this is the first time that Sawyer got his shirt off, and woo-hoo boy, well, the message boards were pretty horny for Sawyer.
He's just too beautiful.
And wait until they see him do his Bond girl walk out of the ocean. Puffs. And with that, we'll go to Who Be Lying, where I believe at least one character is lying in every episode. And this week we're going to stay on Sawyer for a little bit, because I just want to talk about how his lie of omission to Kate was I mean, pretty harsh in some ways, but I think very well deserved in others. Because this week, Kate was kind of like needlessly rude and aggressive a lot. She was mean to Jack. She was mean to Sawyer. She was mean to everybody taking a moment's break during the cave rescue. And, like I said earlier, she doesn't even embrace Charlie when he gets free of the cave. What up, Kate? He was one of the original trio in the pilot. Kate, your friend back home loves Charlie. Kate! And can I please get my chocolate fish biscuits?
That's 3 times. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Fishy. Let's move on to Check Your Mystery. Da 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 da. Oh shit. All right. Okay. This week we've only got one mystery, and it is who bonked Saeed? It was luck. Everybody knows it's luck. It was luck. It's luck. It's luck. It's luck. It was luck. It was me! Well, that was The Moth. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next week for Sawyer's first episode, Confidence Man. Please agree or disagree with me in the comments, and I will see you in the next episode, brother! Alright, now, how do I get out of this cocoon? No!
Help! She's not breathing! What happened? Shannon has asthma. Sawyer, he has the inhalers. I'm gonna kill him.
What do you want for the inhalers?
Kiss. From here, right now. We have to make Sawyer give it to us.
Jack! If you do this!
Who gave you a chance to do the right thing? It doesn't have to be this way.